Hello everyone, Jamarcus here, and I'm here with the second week of the DDL Season 5. We're faced off against Finley, who has an Ursulina Blood Moon, which I don't switch into at all, unless I bring Ability Shield Sableye, which I'm not. Um, I'm terrified of that thing. They have Trick Room, Terra Diancie, which is also a massive threat to my team. The only thing I really have for that is like AV Metagross, but even then, I don't do a lot of damage back if they just Terra Water. Um, so those are the biggest threats to my team. I think I handle Roaring Moon and Blaziken pretty well, actually. I have quite a bit of priority to hit them super effectively, like Aqua Jet and Water Shuriken for Blaziken, and then First Impression, and then it doesn't even like taking a Bullet Punch for Roaring Moon. Also, Azumarill just kind of beats them defensively. They have coverage for Azu, but I just OHKO them, or close to that. Um, so I think I handle those two pretty well. And then the defensive mons, I'm not too worried about. Shell Smash Blastoise is actually another threat, but Azu's also great for that. Azu's the first Pokemon I put on this team. I just knew like it's great into the top three, just kills them. It can underspeed Luna in Trick Room, so I actually ran min speed. So if they set up Trick Room, now I'm faster and I can liquidation for a good chip. It wouldn't kill or anything, but good chip. Um, Prankster Thunderwave, I gotta watch out. Of course, Greninja's Dark type, I don't have to worry about that there. Then Garchomp, Ground type, immune to Thunderwave. Of course, they might not bring Prankster, or does that thing only get Prankster? I can't remember. But mostly Moth and like set up Terapagos are threatened by Thunderwave. As for my sweepers, Greninja, there's a lot of special bulk on this team. Like even Roaring Moon can live in Ice Beam. Like Empoleon, Uxie, and even Tyra Diancie and Tinkaton and Spadef Quillfish. They all can take the hits decently from Greninja, so if I'm going for a Wincon Gren, I definitely need a lot of chip. Garchomp, I actually had a Fizz-Def set for most of Mox. It was to help against Blaziken with like Rocky Helmet, Dragon Tail, that sort of thing. But I switched to Life Orb uh, pretty much last minute just because I figured I needed some extra power. Terapagos, you'll see what set I ended up bringing, but I brought a lead set just to kind of help chip down the team and put on some immediate pressure. It can pretty much trade into anything on the team except like Encore, Bulky, Uxie, or Tinkaton. Let's take a look at what I brought. So there's the Azu set. Pretty bulky. I don't actually have very much attack. Um, so Liquidation's not going to kill Blaziken, but after a rough skin hit or if they're Life Orb, maybe then it will. And then play rough for Moon and then knock off. So I can do something to Empoleon, and that's also nice for Uxie. Just 4 attacks, Citrus Berry to give me some extra health. Could have done AV, but I'm mostly scared about the physical attackers. That's what Azu's here for. Next up, Banded Slitherwing. First impression pretty much checks Roaring Moon. U-turn on their team's really nice, and their fighting resists aren't great. Like if Uxie doesn't show up, nothing lives to close combats. And even just getting chip on Uxie for the Greninja would be nice. Then I have Earthquake. So the set might look like it's walled by Thundurus, but close combat does like 70%, I'm pretty sure, if they're offensive. Um, so I'm not too worried about that, and that puts them in range of any priority move, really, except maybe Aqua Jet. Then I have Earthquake last just because Earthquake is good into their team. In some mocks, it didn't bring a ground resist, so just clicking Banded Earthquake was really nice. Then Garchomp. Adamant again, I'm pretty slow. I think I just have enough speed for Blaziken, actually. So if they're like fast Tinkaton or fast Uxie, they're going to be faster than me. But then, after a scale shot, different story. Earthquake, really strong into their team, and then Fire Fang just for Air Balloon. Tinkaton. It's really nice that their Diancie doesn't have a Terra to resist ground, so it's really easy to click Earthquake into it. Next up, Metagross. This was a last second addition. I had an Iron Moth on the team for a while, just because their fire resists aren't great, but Diancie's fantastic at Iron Moth, so ended up taking it off the team for Metagross because I was so scared of like Trick Room, Meteor Beam, Diancie. So this is the set I ended up going with. Minus speed and not special attack, just because I have Grass Knot. It's the strongest thing I can do into Ursaluna. Metagross lives a hit from Ursaluna and then can Grass Knot for like 50%. That'll put it in range of like Water Shuriken or Earthquake from Garchomp. And then just Heavy Slam, Earthquake, Psychic Fangs hits pretty much everything else. I needed Psychic Fang so I could hit the Thunderous. Next up, Specs Gren, Protean. Everyone was saying, bring Life Orb Battle Bond, it's so good this game. And it probably was. Um, but I decided I wanted the Special Breaker. Um, Hydro Pump, it's pretty hard if they don't end up bringing um, Empoleon, which I don't think needs to show up this game. It is not great, I don't think. Although it's nice for Terapagos and Gren. Then Hydro Pump's really strong. Dark Pulse and Ice Beam also great. There's late games where Ice Beam can just sweep if they only have like Luna, uh, Roaring Moon, like a Uxie left. Specs Ice Beam pretty much wins the game, assuming they're not Scarf Moon. And I think it's hard to bring Scarf Moon into Metagross, plus Azu, plus all this priority. And then last up, Terapagos, a very physically bulky set. Um, I forget what the calc is, but it's for something. Enough speed to outspeed bulky Uxie, and then that's also fast enough for max speed Blood Moon. Terra Stars from Earth Power with Toxic Calm Mind, so no Rapid Spin this week, and no Boots. But I think it'll be alright. This is my dedicated lead. Pretty much no matchup where I don't lead this thing. It has some bad matchups. If they bring like Terra Steel, Calm Mind, Diancie, that'll beat me. But that's one set. Same thing with like uh, fast sub Calm Mind Uxie. But overall, I think this thing can get some Toxics, get some chips to help put things in range of Garchomp, and then I have some breakers too that need some chip. That's the team. What do I expect to see? Top three, most likely. Um, Diancie for sure, and then two of anything else, to be honest. Um, and then it is what we end up seeing. I thought there was a world where Blaziken doesn't show up just because it's pretty bad into Moth, Garchomp, and Azu, and even Zapdos if I bring a bulky set, but um, it did show up. So I am leading Terapagos. Worst case matchup, probably Diancie lead, and we do see the Diancie lead. So I'm going to come on in front of this thing. If they have body press, it won't actually do that much because they have so much Fizz Def. Well, the actual body press will do like 10%, but then after my Terra Shell, it's doing more like 35 to 40, depending on their set. I could Earth Power here, but if I Earth Power on Terra Water, I do like 2% or something. Not that small, but nothing. So Calm Minding in front of something else would be nice. They Terra Water, I Calm Mind as they Baton Pass. Not something I expected to see. It was more expected Trick Room. Um, but they switch out, which is fine. Yuxi comes in. This was the most obvious Encore to me. I was so sure they had Encore here, so I did switch. I could have stayed in just to click Terra Starstorm and get some chip or Toxic, but I thought if I switch on the Encore, I go Slither Wing. That lets me click Banded U-turn and just get some damage on something. So I go Slither Wing. I didn't think they were clicking a Psychic move here, even if they did. It's not doing that much damage. So they end up being Amnesia. Um, Very interesting set. So I guess that's their Terapagos check, which tells me I want to get a Toxic on this uh, as soon as I can. So I'm clicking Banded U-turn. It won't actually kill if they're max HP, or even if they're no HP, I think it's a roll. But I'm clicking it. Getting chip is always great. There go Thunderous, not surprising. I do Terra Fairy just in case they stay in to click uh, Psychic or anything. And also having the Fairy type for Roaring Moon in the back will be nice. Helps Azu keep health for Blaziken. So U-turn, 33% shows their max HP. And I go Garchomp. Um, I just click Scale Shot. There's a good chance I kill them. Unless they're like max Fizz Def, but then they're not doing that much to me. Foul Play will do a decent chunk, but not anything crazy. So I just Scale Shot. Do I get 3 hits? I do. Down goes Thunderous. Blood Moon comes in. I thought about this turn for a while. I can Earthquake and get 50% off, assuming they're max HP, and then they'll kill me. I can go Slither Wing, which lives a Blood Moon, um, and then they would need a high roll Blood Moon into Vacuum Wave to kill me. But you know that now that Thunderous is dead, I can threaten a close combat, which looks fantastic into their team. But if they're Life Orb, then I would just die to Blood Moon, and that would be pretty bad because now it's hard to kill this thing. I guess I'd have to go and click Specs Hydro Pump, which, you know what, doesn't look too bad. Diance's there though. So even though Garchomp looks really good this game, I actually opt to just get Chip with Life Orb Earthquake. And about 50%, yep, they are Citrus Berry. Um, Not terrible for me because I can just kill them still with Gren, but it definitely limits my options. I can also kill them with Slitherwing, either one. And they do just go for the Blood Moon and kill me. Slitherwing comes in, I'm just going to click Close Combat. If they give me Chip on Uxie or sack this thing, I'm happy. They do sack this thing. That's great. Um, that lets me use Metagross pretty much entirely for Uxie and Diancie. Um, Although I set up Uxie might even beat my Metagross, so I'm not sure. Blazing comes in. Um, Flare Blast just kills me, so I opted to switch to Azu. Um, it's like staying in and catching them on an SD would be great, and I just killed them with close combat, but that's a really risky play for them to make. And I think that was pretty unreasonable. So I decided to switch to Azu. Dumb me forgets Poison Jab was a free click onto Slitherwing there, so they go for it, but I did EV to live two of these. They get the speed boost, of course. I'm just going to click Liquidation. They can't kill me with anything. Hopefully they don't poison me, but after Citrus Berry, I would live another round of poison, so it wouldn't be the end of the world. I get my Citrus Berry, very nice. I Liquidation. I crit them, but they're Pasho Berry, so they only take 81%. So with that crit, I do 80%. Otherwise, I would have done about 55%, but then Aqua Jet still would have killed them after that anyways, um, which I can pull up the calc at the end of the game. But yeah, I think Aqua Jet would have killed anyways. And that is what I end up clicking. Do they have upper hand? I was worried about that in Mox, but they don't. Upper hand was actually really bad into my Greninja because I wanted the Water Shark in them. So seeing that would have been bad. Although upper hand wouldn't have killed me there, so I'd have a couple tries to get the Aqua Jet. In comes Moon, or the attack booster, they are, not surprising. I'm just going to play rough. I don't want to let this thing get a Dragon Dance for free. If they kill me, that's fine. I can just first impression them after. And they aggro. So their win comes in, I'm just going to click first impression, and they have Protect. And I'm Choice Band. This is the freest Dragon Dance of their life. Um, Puts me in a really bad spot. Azu's dead. Um, I can never first impression this thing because they can just Protect. And after they Dragon Dance, Acrobatics will kill my Slitherwing. So I have to switch here, and assuming they're Dragon Dance. Really bad spot. I do still have Terapagos with Terra Shell up, and it's Fizz Def. Um, and if they don't Dragon Dance, then I can just click Specs Ice Beam. So I do go hard Terapagos to get a Toxic on this thing. I Toxic because if they're, for some reason, like DD Roost, I guess Metagross would probably end up beating them. But Terra Starstorm does not outdamage Roost, so I wanted to get a Toxic on them. And I figured that every time I try and click First Impression, they Protect, they're taking extra Toxic damage. So being able to click Toxic on this thing was great. They knock off my leftovers, that's fine. Maybe a bit of a misplay here. I live a hit. Acrobatics does not kill me here. Um, but I make maybe an unnecessary play and I go hard Metagross. Assuming they click Acrobatics because it does more damage than knockoff here. I go Metagross and they do click Acro, so I live. And then they knock off. This is just getting me extra toxic damage. And now from here, I calc and I realize, oh, Terapagos lives a hit. I should have just stayed in with that maybe. So they Acro, I live pretty comfortably. Terra Starstorm, and then they die to the Toxic. Uxie comes in here. I click Toxic and I miss. Seeing as this is set up pretty bad for me, Slitherwing should be able to handle it no matter what, but they could be weakness policy for all I know. And I don't know their set. If they're like Fizz Def weakness policy with Draining Kiss, it actually looks pretty bad for me. So not getting the Toxic on that's pretty bad. The Mystical Power, I go Greninja just to click Specs Dark Pulse. Figured they can't kill me and I'll do a lot of damage to them. A Dark Pulse, and I do not very much damage. That's pretty SPDF Yuxi, I believe. And then they end up being Citrus Berry as well. So then after an Amnesia, I'm actually not going to 2-KO them here, which is just not great. A Dark Pulse, they Pain Split, heal a little bit. I'm just going to keep Dark Pulsing, really hoping for a flinch here. They Draining Kiss, they heal a little bit back. Dark Pulse will 2-KO here, um, but I didn't want to be locked into anything on Slitherwing. So I actually go hard Slitherwing now because I figured they can't really touch me. Mystical Power and Draining Kiss aren't going to be doing that much damage, especially Draining Kiss, seeing as they're pretty much max SPDF, so they have no special attack investment. So I go hard Slitherwing here and click U-turn. Banded U-turn should be killing this thing. Yep, and then Greninja can get some chip on Diancie so that it dies to close combat. Dark Pulse. Do I get a flinch? I don't, but this thing's now in range of close combat from Slitherwing. So, very close game. That crit did not matter. That thing was dead, and it wouldn't have had anything to kill me anyways. Um, so I would have just killed it the next turn, unless they Trick Room, but that doesn't really change anything anyways. So, yeah, that crit at the end didn't really matter. So we win 1-0. Very close game. Uh, I definitely made some mistakes there. Um, I shouldn't have clicked first impression here. They can't kill me with anything. No reason to not just click U-turn or close combat. Um, I considered them being protect in mocks, but I didn't consider it in the actual game, which was a mistake on my end. Definitely a bit of a throw in first impression there. I sacked Metagross and my Terapagos for pretty much nothing. Although I did keep health on Slitherwing for the late game, which was moderately helpful, but sacking 1.5 Pokemon was not worth it. Definitely should have just clicked U-turn there. Now, if they're Ironhead, I believe they would have killed me, but DD Acro Ironhead knockoff, I guess that could make sense. But judging on my team, I don't think you really need Ironhead. It doesn't hit anything except Terra Fairy Slitherwing, and I think bringing a move slot for one Pokemon and one Terra type on that Pokemon is not worth it. Unless like Ironhead for Carbink, I guess there's that. Which Acro Knock is kind of walled by Carbink, which is what they ended up being. Um, so man, if I brought Carbink, would have been good for that. Um, but kind of hard to bring Carbink this game, I think. Just loses to Yuxi. So there's week one. Let's look at that calc on Blaziken for a second. So here is my Azu set and my opponent's Blaziken set. They had 104 HP with Pasho Berry. Liquidation does 51 to 68, or 60.8, sorry. And then with the crit that I got, it did low 80s, I believe. Yep. So even without that crit, liquidation would have done at least 50%. And then once the Pasho Berry is consumed, Aqua Jet 48%. So pretty much always killing. Seeing as liquidation is 51.6 minimum, um, and then 48.3 minimum, there's 0.1 HP of room there. So pretty much always killing with liquidation into Aqua Jet. So that crit on Blaziken, I don't think it mattered. I think that was the only really luck-based part in the game. Missing Toxic was a little unfortunate because all these Dark Pulses, Yuxi would have been losing a lot more HP. I do end up winning the game still, but maybe I would have had another differential if I hit that Toxic. So, not the prettiest of games. I definitely could have played better. I think I could have brought a better team. Pretty much sacked Metagross for nothing. Um, I do think Grass Knot was a good bring for Luna, though. Otherwise, Luna beats Assault Vest Metagross. That puts us at 2-0, plus 6 differential. I would have liked a little better differential, but I can't be too picky. Good start to the season. Um, I'm moderately happy with this game. Hopefully we can iron out some of these mistakes next week, though. I don't actually know my matchup, but I'm sure it'll be a good one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.